Happy Thursday, everybody. So, today I wanted to talk about travel does not stop at the state line. So, you have people everywhere going somewhere. People like, oh, well, they just want to go to the tourist states like Virginia, Florida, California, the Caribbeans. But no, people everywhere are traveling for one reason or another, be it for pleasure, vacations, be it for they're leaving home to go to college because they graduated from high school, be it um, for services, businesses, business travel. There's so many different reasons why people travel from state to state. So don't think of it as a limited opportunity. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because our company that I'm associated with is in over 20 countries and continuing to expand. And it gives an opportunity to not think with limits. Last night or this morning, a few insomniacs supported a sister in success. You probably seen some of my posts. If not, it's there that the company has just opened up a market in the UAE, Dubai, and which is so exciting. And my sister in success had a few people who were interested in starting their home-based travel agency in that area. Well, there is a different time zone. They're on Gulf Standard Time. So for us in the East Coast at 9 in the morning, it's 1 a.m. here. But it makes sense to make that sacrifice in order to get them the information. And she had already put on her calendar that she was going to meet. And she wanted to do it personally. She just didn't want to send them information from the read over. She wanted to put eyes on them and they put eyes on her so they know that, hey, this is a real person, just somebody that you had met online. And when a few of us find out that this is what we were going to do, we took a little power nap late last night and we hopped on the call. And I was so impressed. And because not only of her dedication and our dedication, pat our own selves on the shoulders, but the preparation that our company had provided. I don't know about you guys, but when I've worked in other companies before, when something new happens, there's hiccups, not just with systems, but in relaying information because the company may implement something without putting enough data out there to support that change. But that's not what our company did. You know, some of us have only been in the States, maybe blessed to go to an island on a cruise or whatever the case may be, but to travel abroad and get so many passport steps, some of us have not been able to do so. So it was nice to know that our company had given us information that we could share because the dollar over there is not the same currency. So to be able to articulate a message based upon something that the other country could understand and not have them do the work and translate, okay, well, how much this is this based upon our dollar, based upon the US dollar. And it's those type of logistic things that happen in the background that we didn't have to, as representatives of the company, we didn't have to figure those things out. That is the perk of having a turnkey business. Having a turnkey business, you have other people behind the scenes that are gathering that data, providing that information, putting it into resources that can be shared and articulated. And that is a win. And for me, the way my brain works and my personality is I love stuff like that. Yes, I don't have a problem going down a rabbit hole and figuring things out, but that takes time. When you have to go and figure things out, that takes the time from the income producing activities that you need to do. It takes away from what needs to be done around the household. It takes away from family, and it takes away from your own personal time. So to have a company that provides resources and supplies, websites, uh, giving us suppliers, providing the appropriate training is a win, you guys. It is such a win. I remember with my cleaning business, I have a pet peeve. Personally, I do not like glass shower doors. Personally, I do not. However, cosmetically, they look beautiful in the bathroom. They really do. But after so many uses of it, and depending on the products that are used on it, the buildup on those glass shower doors can be horrendous. And in move out cleans, yeah, I would basically, some of my gray hair that I have probably is from those experiences those years back. And I had to research the best chemical, the best process, because I was failing at getting it done. I'm up here spending 2-3 hours on a shower glass door to make it look as brand new as it could. And there was no manual that came with that. Being a solo cleaner, I didn't work for anybody else. I worked for myself. So I had not there was no passed down, okay, these are the tips and traits in order to do that. So when I started this business, as needing to supplement my income as I put family first and begin the transition out of the residential cleaning business, it was nice to know that those resources was already prepared for me. Those resources were already available, that I did not have to worry about a website. I didn't have to worry about maintenance of a website. I didn't have to worry about a payment portal. Those things were already provided. And to have the ability to book travel internationally and help others start their own agencies abroad is so exciting. And to know that we're a family here, and to see my sisters in success face when we put mouth we put action behind our words. We didn't just say, yeah, we'll be there, and then come back the next day and be like, no, we're sorry, we forgot that we pushed the snooze button by mistake. That feels good. And we do that across the board. It's not just unique situations like that when we open up in new markets where there are time zone differences. It could be for anything, running off an idea on how to assist a client or etc. So I want y'all to realize that, again, travel doesn't stop at your state. And to switch modes, sometimes I've talked to people, and I'm referring to clients, not those who wants to start the agencies, that don't think that they can travel because they assume that travel means getting out the state. But in that instance, there's so many things to do to make staycations. I believe truly that everyone deserves to have a vacation. Everyone deserves to have that feeling of refreshment. The perk is, as being a travel business owner, I have the ability to do that on another level, not just for my clients, but for myself. And if you're interested on what that looks like, information is free. It doesn't cost anything. It's of no obligation. And I would love to take a few moments to share that information with you. But in the meanwhile, y'all know what time it is. It's time for you guys to have a phenomenal day on purpose.